Hello, everybody. This is Kenny Cummins here of Chilling with Kenny C right here on TMVCafe.com, bringing you entertainment to your ears. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves in the early days of February thus far. Joining me at this time is a Florida-based artist who is blending country storytelling with pop melodies, and her latest single is called Funeral for Our Love, and it's available on all streaming platforms right now. I'm joined with Resa. She's with me right now. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being on. Hope you are off to a good week, and quite great to have you on.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're definitely gonna talk about this single that you got, and we
hmm
also will be chatting with you about Nashville Entertainment Weekly, which you are a part of. I'm very fond of Jill, TJ and Company,
hmm
so shout out to them. But
Yeah, I just started with them, and so far, so good. They're great.
absolutely, shout out to Jill and TJ. So Wiley, how did you get started into music?
So I've always been, I've always loved music. I've always loved to sing. However, I first got into like actually songwriting when I was about 14. I was asked to write a song for an anti-bullying film. And that's kind of where I got into songwriting. I wrote my first song called Broken, about being how I was bullied when I was in middle school middle school slash beginning of high school. But it really made me fall in love with songwriting, and I realized that's kind of a way that I can express myself, and it's just took off from there.
So, who are some of the artists, whether it's mainstream or whether it's independent, unsigned artists, who are some that has inspired you as far as with your music?
So actually, the reason that I like began singing at all, like doing karaoke and stuff when I was really young, was because I loved Adele so much. Um, so I sang a lot of Adele songs when I was younger. So she's definitely like who got me started. But right now, my biggest inspirations, I'd say, are Megan Maroney and Ariana Grande, Tate McRae, but definitely Megan Maroney. I really like what she's doing with pop country.
So, that those two genres together have been very popular for quite some time. I'll say 10, 15 plus years. It's always been like that. I would say since the 90s, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really started to catch even more steam as we got into the 2000s.
Right.
Seems like, with music in general, it's artists no longer sticking with one genre.
Mm-hmm.
They are blending multiple genres and making it into their own. So talk about country pop in particular. What makes it, what do you think what makes it successful? What makes it, you know,
Um,
it?
yeah, I think that a lot of times with like country music, the songwriting of it is like much deeper. Like a lot of country songs I feel have kind of deeper meanings, and it's more of like a storytelling experience. And I think people really like that. And uh that's what I like about it. Because like I said, I really love to songwrite, and I like telling a story in my songs. And so I feel like that's kind of why people have gravitated towards it. Because yeah, pop is fun and upbeat and happy, and you can dance to it. But I feel like a lot of the times people are looking for deeper meaning in a song.
Yeah, it's definitely been a genre that gravitates to a lot of people.
Hmm.
I think that's why it's being very dominant on the charts now. It's being very dominant on radio play and playlists, and
Yeah, definitely.
it's become you can't escape it. It's there,
Yeah,
and
I saw Beyonce just won Best Country Album at the Grammys.
yeah, I mean
That's
that was huge.
hmm
Especially for her. It was a historic night for her, not just winning best country album, but she finally won album of the year for the first time.
yeah.
And that speaks volumes. She stepped away from her comfort zone, you could
hmm
say. Um, you could say R&B, you could say pop, hip hop, and then she took a different page with Cowboy Carter
Yeah,
and went on to have the success that it had. And she's going to continue that momentum with her tour coming up later this year. So uh, I'm cool with B. You know what I'm saying? I am part of the Beehive. I'm not an obsessed Beehive person, but I respect her art. She's great.
definitely.
So yeah, Miss Risa, I want to discuss your latest single. Actually, it's your first single of 2025. It came out in January 20th. It's called "Funeral for Our Love."
Yes.
Definitely,
All right.
so
So,
talk about the song title and how seeing that you love the songwriting aspect. Talk about how that song came to be.
so yeah, as I said before, songwriting is kind of like my therapy. When I'm going through something, I write a song about it. Instead of journaling, I write songs. So, how Funeral for Our Love came about was actually last Valentine's Day, which I know Valentine's Day is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's going to be about a year since I wrote it. But last Valentine's Day, I actually saw my ex post a picture with like his new girlfriend for the first time, and I was really upset about it. So I was at like 3 a.m. I wrote the song and wrote it in a couple hours, and yeah, it was just kind of my grieving process, I'd say. And I went with like the funeral theme because it felt like I was seeing a different person, and he wasn't the same person who I once loved, and so I was kind of grieving him, which is how funeral came about.
Yeah, that's definitely deep, especially something that you went through at that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's never good to find out that way that your ex moved on in that fashion.
Right.
Um, so obviously going through the songwriting process, very, very emotional. But it was therapeutic for you, to express how you felt at that time. And and the funeral aspect definitely has a feel to it, and there's gonna be some people that listen to that song that can relate to it. Maybe their circumstances different compared to yours, but there's some elements of you love someone, you put your heart and soul into someone, and then you find out that person didn't quite love you right back.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm a right about this. I'm gonna get through this one way or another, and it's went on to be a song that you know people can relate to. So,
That's one of
any
my favorite parts about songwriting, really connecting with who's listening to it.
I've always admired people, that shows vulnerability, um, social vulnerability, show that side, show that human side that not everything is all happy. Like I go through some things, I go through adversity, I go through heartbreak, whether it's being betrayed by significant other or family or friend, things like that. You say, hey man, I'm going through this, I'm getting through this, and you can too. And maybe my music can resonate with you and help you get through what you're going through.
Exactly.
So it's a very, very impactful song. And for all the people out there, Valentine's Day is coming up,
Yes.
and we all take things for granted. Okay, we all take things for granted with our significant others. So you're gonna go through ups and downs. It's human. We all human. We all go through ups. If you really love that person, don't just talk about it, be about it. Do be there for that person. Calls, texts. You know,
It's
it's
all about the little things,
the
the
little things.
small
Like
gestures.
yeah, that small gestures, and you know, I've been in a relationship myself. It didn't end like that per se. It's just, I guess maybe I was just shy. Maybe I didn't want to, I didn't want to be the one to like break the person's heart.
Hmm.
So maybe things didn't like go, the way that people would hope to be. I'm still a genuine person. I just feel like maybe at that time I wasn't ready for a quote unquote long term
Hmm.
relationship, and then it's a learning experience for me. Um, but it's just hey, we all handle things differently in a relationship. This is getting real therapeutic right now. Oh my goodness! But I appreciate you, Wiley, for sharing that, and and just showing that hey, man, we all go through things, and we'll get through it somehow.
Exactly.
Uh, so um, what else you have on the horizon? You got any upcoming shows? You got anything else
Um,
in particular in the works?
so actually, on I believe it's the 20th. I have to double check, but pretty soon this month. Yeah, I think it's on the 20th. I'm releasing another song, and it's called I-4. And anybody who lives in Florida and who has dealt with I-4, the highway, will definitely relate to this song. So that's super fun. It's kind of like it's more so country than this last one. The last one was "Funeral for Our Love" is kind of a sad ballad. This one is kind of an angry, like releasing
Mm.
rage song, uh, mixed with a little country twist. So I'm really excited about this one.
So let me ask you about this highway thing, just in case if I were to make my way there in the future or so. Now, one thing I despise about highways or any roads for that matter is the potholes.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one thing I can't stand is the potholes. And I went through a recent experience when I was driving and there are so many potholes. I'm like, why is the city not on this? Why is the city lacking on cleaning this stuff up, especially for us visitors? It ain't just for the people that live there. It's
Right.
for us that visit there for whatever reason, and you want to make a good impression. And maybe this is a relationship angle analogy, but you're trying to make a good impression, and the potholes is kind of like you want to break up with me or something? You don't want me to go back?
Yeah.
So that highway is it potholes in there?
It's the problem with I-4 is that it there's so much construction going on down there at all times for I don't even know what. And there's so much traffic, and people just drive crazy on I-4. So it's dangerous. I think it's one of the dangerous highways in the country, actually. But anyways, the reason that I mention I-4 in the song is kind of a analogy with relationships. Basically, I say I would, if it's your way or the highway, I would rather take I-4, which is a lot to say because I-4 is terrible.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. We all have the experience with the rage drivers. Those that just be driving so quickly, go beyond the speeding limit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 40 miles per hour type of deal, for example. And it's like, look, we are trying to get to where we need to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like chill out. You know what I'm saying? you, you, we all want to get where we want to be safe and sound. Like be a little patience would be nice for some drivers. The constructions. I mean, man, like whoever does these constructions, this whole roads, these highway, it better look like Times Square in New York. It better be somewhere close to
Ridiculous
it.
though, because it's construction every day, and it's like we don't need any more. It's just so much construction at all times.
Yes, man, that must have been like whoever the government or something, or it might be a group of people just feel I don't know. It's just odd. It's so you definitely you showing some range in your storytelling.
Yes.
So you showing the emotion on the funeral, and now you're showing that anger side, on I-4. So we now know that's your next single. It's coming out in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So go pre-save it on Spotify and some of the other platforms, and it'll be directly towards your list when the song is out on February the 20th.
Yep. And I'm gonna
Uh,
be if you follow me on social media, it's just my name, Riley Resa, on every single platform. I'll be posting a lot about it and the links to the songs if you need that. So,
so earlier in the interview, you mentioned, Ariana Grande, Megan Maroney, Adele, some of your early influences and current influences. Um, Now, Megan Maroney, I
mm-hmm.
believe she's the one with the Tennessee song.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a nice joint for Megan. I like Megan. She's kind of warmed up to me. You know what I'm saying? So talk. I want to talk to her. Considering she's making a name for herself. She's a household name, I believe, in the country music.
Yep.
Well, so talk about her music, her style, what makes it unique, what makes it enlightening to you, from your perspective.
Um, Honestly, so I just I really like her storytelling in her songs. And I feel like it's the perfect mix of country with a little pop in there. And that's kind of why I gravitated towards her. Also, I just feel like a lot of the songs that she writes, for example, her song No Caller ID, like spot on. I just relate so much to her songwriting, and that's kind of, yeah, that's why I love her so much.
Yeah, she's definitely making a name for herself. And I feel like she's the next. You can honestly say that she's probably the next up. She's like the next generation of artists. someone that you're gonna know for the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
She and you always looking for like who's next, who's the next emerging star. She definitely fits the mold with her talent, with her songs, and how fans react to it. She seems very genuine person too.
Yeah, I agree.
For the interviews that I've seen of her, so future's bright for me, and future's bright for Riley Risa too. I like you, Riley. I like your style.
Thank you.
I like how you approach things. You know, what I'm saying as a songwriter, and I'm definitely looking forward to this I4 song that you got coming up. And Funeral of Our Love is our latest single. It's out right now, all streaming platforms. Make sure you keep those stream numbers up for her while you wait for the release of I4. And, we just, we're in February. So that means about 2 months before we get some warm weather. Of course, you live in Florida.
Yeah, it's warm. I
So
actually was at the pool today, so
yeah.
warm enough here.
Yeah, so I live in Kentucky, which is kind of like in the middle of Ohio and Tennessee.
I was actually
So,
I was in Ohio for the whole summer working with this team of producers that I work with.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you?
So I love them. It's Touchdown Records. I've been working with them ever since I was, I'd say 15. Yeah. But basically, they fund a lot of my music, and I've learned a lot from them. They helped me become a better songwriter. They've provided me amazing opportunities, video production, um, and I'm learning how to produce my own music on Logic Pro now, thanks to them. That's kind of what I was doing up there this summer. And I also went to CMA Fest with them in Nashville when I was up there as well. But yeah, that's
All right, so definitely keep an eye on Wally Resa. Check her out on social media, and that's Resa spelled Resa.
yes.
And Funeral of Our Love, that's the latest single out on the streaming platforms right now. I4's coming out on the 20th of February. Thank you so much for your time, Riley. Oh, and before I forget, Nashville Entertainment Weekly. Uh, yeah, I wanted the Jill and TJ. I've been networking with them for years.
Mm-hmm.
Both are outstanding people. They really care about the artists that they support and promote. You said you just started working with them recently.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How's everything been working? How's everything going with you and Nashville Entertainment Weekly?
So far, everything's been great. I just got connected with them like middle of last month, and basically they're getting me lots of radio play, which is just what I need. So that's great. And then also these interviews. This is my second interview that I've done from them, and it's been great so far. And I cannot wait to see what the future holds.
Yeah, I shout to Jill and TJ, Nashville Entertainment Weekly. This is how I know that they love and they care for their artists like yourselves. I'm on Facebook every day, and you see all sorts of things, good and bad, on social media every day.
Mm-hmm.
I scroll through my timeline and I see Nashville Entertainment Weekly. I see at least one Nashville Entertainment Weekly post a day. And so that tells you they really they go above and beyond for their artists, for anyone that they support. They are good people. And if any independent artists, unsigned artists, if they want to get some assistance, if they need somebody to to be on that corner to promote, support the music. You give TJ and Jill, give them a call or get in touch with them on social media. They're good people.
Definitely.
They're good people. And Wiley, it was very nice chatting with you this evening. Continued success with you for the remainder of 2025. And then I'll definitely will be playing your music on my platforms in the foreseeable future. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Great chatting with you. You enjoy your night and you enjoy your evening.
You too.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye.